Welcome to TLTV, Joy and Pleasure celebrated in wine. As we're still in Ireland, it is celebrated, or Joy and Pleasure celebrated in cider. And this is the Little Island Irish craft cider. In this particular cider, 5.1 volume percent alcohol, made from 100% Irish apples. And I'm here on Blasket Island. I keep calling it Blanket Island, I have no idea why, but it's Blasket Island. Just off the coast from Dingle, around 15 minutes by boat to actually get here. It's a little, the weather looks probably a lot worse than it really is. Also, it's actually very, very pleasant. I mean, there's a little bit of wind, but the temperature is around 17 degrees. It actually is quite wonderful to be here. I mean, there are almost no people on the island. There are a few ruins of old houses. I believe there's one little potential area to actually get a cup of coffee here. But at the moment we're busy with the ciders. And let's just try this My Little Island, no, not My Little Pony, Little Island craft cider. Couldn't be more suitable. We're on a little island in the Atlantic. And let's have a look and see what this tastes like. It doesn't really say a lot on the label. This says made from Irish apples, can be everything. I already poured it for the German part of this show. And as you can see, the color is very golden, a very cliché type of cider color, I'd call it. It's almost like a really, could be apple juice. The flavor is yeasty, very aptly, medium dry, that's how I would say it. Has some mild tannins that the taste, I'd say they always remember is the peel of an apple. The nose, not very pleasant, is really not spectacular in my opinion. There are nicer noses out there, but the flavor at the end of the line is the most important thing. The flavor is, how would I say it, is nice. But it's not a fantastic cider. I've tasted better ciders out there, and that's for me the reason I give it a very mellow 82 points. From that regard, as it just lacks a certain structure, it lacks the depth, as well the juiciness and maybe the dryness as well that you would expect. The nose is in my opinion not very enjoyable. So the first cider so far, Little Island Irish craft cider, 5.1 volume percent alcohol, not great. Doesn't really do it for me. Retails at around €4 for the bottle. And honestly, let's move on to the next ciders that probably are a lot more fun, bring a lot more joy to the palate. As this really is not fantastic. So let's go to the next one and enjoy these views. I'm going to look for another location on the island to film the next bottle, and that'd be kind of fun to just go around and have a look and then see where we find the next place to taste the next cider. So see you again soon, bottle number 2. So now we go to the second bottle, and that is another cider, and it is the Ivors traditional dry cider, and completely a dry cider, so we'll have very little residual sugar. From an alcohol point of view, 5.6 volume percent alcohol. It's made from Irish apples, doesn't really say which ones, comes from County Armagh, and they turn those juicy apples into nice cider. Well, let's have a look how nice this cider really is. As the last one was not bad, but it wasn't fantastic either. It was just an ordinary cider. And it of course is much better than some of the big brand ciders with added water and other additives or added sugar. So craft ciders definitely deserve their place. But let's look at the color. Appley, golden yellow color, looks like something else you all can think of. In the Guinness glass that is moving around the island today, let's see how this smells. Yeasty, appley, not a lot of sugar, so not a sweet note. Actually quite okay, a lot better than the first cider. And it is a dry cider, but the whole flavor roller coaster as such is not that terribly exciting. It's an okay cider, it's very nice, definitely better than the first one. Clear 85 points. Buy the cider, enjoy it, but it's okay, it's just okay. It is not the double fermented cider I introduced to you in another episode. Therefore, this cider is nice, 85 points. Pair it with seafood, lovely oysters, scallop, some whitefish depending on how it is prepared. Well, with oysters this will work very well actually. And yeah, this Irish craft cider is okay, 85 points. And I'd say we move on to the next one and see what happens. Before we do, little anecdote. There's a place nearby called Wine-Strand. And why do you think it's called that? It's called that because they used to smuggle a lot of wine. Before ships would enter the port of Dingle, some captains would actually leave some of the barrels, or let's say leave them out into the open sea. And the open sea would actually, then the currents would take them to Wine-Strand, where then the locals would collect the barrels and then would stop then, or would save a lot of tax money or taxation on the particular wines in question. And that's why it's called Wine-Strand. I will blend in a little picture so you can see that. If the weather improves, we might do a tasting there. So let's go to the next one. Let's go with the third bottle. This is the Ivors medium cider, pressed from Irish apples, 4.5 volume % alcohol. Is a cider that has, let's say, more residual sugar. I'm expecting something different because the color, as you probably can see, is very different. I poured it already as I did the German video beforehand, and as you can see as well from the bottle, looks the same. They could put a little bit more information on the bottle. What apples are they using? Okay, it's made in County Armagh. They like to turn it into the best cider possible, blah, 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 blah. However, more information would be cool to know what apples. So after a while, if you know what apples you like, then you know as well what ciders to pick for, because you then kind of get a feeling that they can be, let's say, made in a different way, but still the different cider, they all have their own distinctive flavor that they put to the cider. So be interesting to see, but let's start with this one. Nose almost light appley, but nothing out of this world, nothing terribly crazy. Be yeasty for a medium cider. Actually, I'm surprised. It doesn't seem to have that total typical medium sweetness, but you already see as well, because it has less alcohol, there will be some fruit, some apple in this particular cider. Very light. The nice twang to it in that sense. Nice acidity. Of course, you really taste the fruit from the apple. Because it's medium, so there's more sugar left in it from the actual fruit. This is a very well built cider. I like this a lot more than the actual dry variant from Ivors cider. I didn't expect that, because I tend to go for the dry ones, but this medium cider is very nice. It's fresh, it's crisp. It's something I would really enjoy with some nice scallops, some oysters, some mild spiced white fish. Maybe some steamed fish, or you can actually cook with cider as well. Lots of different things you can cook with, or cook with it. A great cider, or a very nice cider, and I would say give that an easy 86 to 87 points. That is quite phenomenal, quite enjoyable. Go out and buy them. All three ciders, by the way, today have been extremely good. I mean, it always is, of course, personal preference, where you have to look and see what particular cider you like. But nonetheless, go out there, try these ciders out and let me know what you think. Comment section there, do you think it makes sense? Do you agree with what I have to say about this cider? Do you like the backdrop, as the sun is actually coming out now in Ireland? Here at the west coast, at the Atlantic. Just let me know, I'd look forward to hear from you. So on that note as well, it's the end from TLTV. 3 ciders in Ireland, and I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to see you again soon, as there'll be different locations, and very soon we'll go to a country where there'll be a lot more wines that we're going to taste. There'll be a lot more site info as well to the different locations, but it's been a fun journey so far. All these different ciders, the wonderful craft beers, absolutely excellent. So thank you for watching. As always, do the triangle: food, drink, people pairing. make sure they're all in balance, they all are compatible to each other, or maybe try some new combinations. Have fun trying different things out, have fun drinking cider, and when in Ireland, try these out, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I'm going to have a sip of this. This is the winner cider, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon. Slantje. Proost.